He roams the streets, colors his dreams, draws with no fear, free as he seems. Chalk in his hand, brightens the land, faces in awe, he makes a stand. He's a great sidewalk chalker, out in the loose, in prison for colors, but now he's free as a goose. Lines on the ground, happiness found, spreading his art all through the town. Jailed for chalk, but he won't stop. Tyrant's been exposed, now the office doors are closed. Tyrant's been exposed. He's a great sidewalk chalker, out in the loose, in prison for colors, but now he's free as a goose. He's a great sidewalk chalker, out in the loose, in prison for colors, but now he's free as a goose. Lines on the ground, happiness found, spreading his art all through the town. Jailed for chalk, but he won't stop. Tyrant's been exposed, now the office doors are closed. Now the office doors are closed. Tyrant's been exposed. Tyrant's been exposed.
What's up, everybody? Great to see you. Latin Indian John Denicola with us, live on panel. What's up, John?
Evening, gents. How are you?
Oh, I'm there. You know how it goes.
Another day in the hood.
There you go. As long as you're above dirt.
Right. Well,
I don't know. My mom's basement is actually below the dirt, so.
Well,
Haters out
technically,
there.
I live below the dirt, man.
well, that's true. If you're in a basement, technically, aren't you below the dirt? And if you wake up, you woke up below the dirt. How fucked up is that?
You know.
Accountability Amplified. Great to see you. How are you doing? So we're going to be talking about a few things on this show. We've got about a us, about an hour, 2 hour show set up for you to bring you up to date with what's been going on over here in the great town of Aguilar. But we're going back. We're digging way back into the past because it seems that we've got a lot of new people. Definitely got a lot of new people watching this and have no clue what has actually transpired within the last 2 years. But also with what has been transpiring within the past 2 years, we're correlating it to what's happening now, like the efforts that they're going through to try and stop us from either A, recording, B, chalking, C, talking.
Shut
up, sit down, shut up.
Mr. Mayor, I think what he's trying to do is address you without his lawyer present. I heard that.
Well, they always need those lawyers. Definitely they always need those lawyers. But of course, our StreamYards isn't on, so we're not doing both channels. And what was it? A couple of days ago, we did a show. So we're alternating on channels. We did a show on Good Citizens channel, which would lead up to this show. And we're going to give a brief brief recap on that as well. I mean, that's involving what the hit that was put out on us by a town administrator / clerk, and the fact that a guy that writes chalk, draws with chalk on the sidewalk, gets arrested for drawing with chalk on the sidewalk or the side of a public ramp. One got arrested, the other one didn't. And so we tried to make the correlation on which one was the bigger crime.
Apparently, it depends on the criminal.
I'll post the link to the last live Accountability Amplified, and you're right, John. I think it depends on the criminal. If you're a part of government or you're a part of law enforcement or whatever like that, you can do whatever you want. You can pretty much get away with murder, if not get away with murder, if it's not brought to light. I mean, in my opinion, but God forbid if you're a tax-paying citizen that just wants to fucking live his life and you spit on the sidewalk.
Yeah, the sidewalk's falling apart, ain't it? Oh wait, that's the ramp.
Or it could be both.
Yeah, well, you never know around here, I suppose.
John, I think you're in a bad spot, man. If you're trying to talk, you're coming in and out. So unless it's me, is it me? Am I the one that's hearing John break in and out?
You never know.
It could be. I was doing something. I posted that link for Accountability Amplified in the last stream.
Oh, thank you very much, John.
Anytime.
Good to see you, Gregory.
Yeah. Well, I know how much you guys like board meetings. You want to start off with a little board meeting clip? Those are always wild. I got one pulled up here. Give it a little taste.
Yeah, Laura, what can we do for you? I'd like to reintroduce myself. I don't think people up there know who I am. And you guys are allowing them to harass me, threaten me, try to intimidate me. It's been going on since January.
When what?
Even higher up is that John Paul in my yard 4 times in the same month to read the water and the gas. 4 times.
Okay.
Why? Why would he have to come in my yard 4 times?
Well,
And the last 2 times, I told him he was not allowed on my property.
you can't stop the utility.
But I can stop him from coming on my property. The paperwork that she handed the sheriff said that the only reason they have to come in on the property is to maintain or fix something. He was not maintaining or fixing.
read the meter.
No, it doesn't say reading the meters. That paperwork does not say reading the meters. Neither one of the papers she had the sheriff that they gave to us.
I'm not going to wait on that.
Because I'm mad.
Well,
And I don't think you guys don't even understand who the fuck I am. It pisses me off.
why should I just one thing?
Well, I don't give a fuck if you don't like my language. You have to listen.
You need to get an officer. You know,
You cannot remove it.
well, you can.
No, you can't.
You can.
Oh, yeah. You can't harm people.
Oh, yeah.
You can't.
Well,
You can't talk to the board, right? Like, how many times is the board interrupting him there?
Well, I think what the question should be is why are they interrupting him to begin with, and why are they telling him that his language is what's getting his speech out? Seems to me that the board has it a little twisted as to what somebody can and can't say.
Well, I mean, this has been, you know, an ongoing thing since we walked into this town. In fact, that's exactly what brought us into this town. Was there's Travis Nelson, person out here that's in the community, around the community, and getting himself involved in the community and politics. Vote Travis Nelson. Yeah, he's the one that originally came into this town, was recording, and was pretty much told he couldn't record. And it was an ongoing thing. This hasn't been just a, you know, the last couple of 6 months where they put up the signs where we couldn't record or blah blah. No, this has been an ongoing thing for, we don't even know how long right now, John.
Yeah, they didn't even start doing recordings until, you know, not soon before this did they even start the recording process, right?
You know what scares me is if you weren't watching this real time, this would be fiction to me. I couldn't ever believe this would happen.
It gets better. Here,
Well,
let me
and-
read a little more. It gets
Well,
better.
and hold on, good citizen, hold on. So if you would look at this on YouTube, would you seriously think that this is a town board? Or would you think that this is put together, like this is an act, like this is like people acting and they're doing their own little thing? Because this don't look official at all. This
Look at
is
the
how
signs.
we walk. Look at how look, this is how we came into this town, and they didn't even have the signs up. They just had a table there with what was it, 8 chairs, and then the chair sitting right there like the person's getting interrogated by the board when they want to come up and speak. Like, that doesn't look official to me. That seriously looks like these people are doing like some skit or something. But you're right, John, this is real life. If you weren't here dealing with it and seeing it, I wouldn't even believe it myself, John.
You know what's funny is you brought up a point about the way the board is seated, and it kind of reminds me of when a cop comes up to your car and he's standing over you, and that's what they're trying to do by seating him in front of them. And that, to me, right there is the sign of disrespect in and of itself.
Well, and that's why they have a podium now, John. But they're talking about moving back to that situation from the situation that they are in now. I mean, at least they have a decent room now. But the problem with that decent room is there is not enough for people that have been wanting to come, and the room gets full, and then it turns into standing room, which you know, by law is a fire hazard. So a couple of times, technically, they shouldn't even have had the meetings because there was people all over the place. There was no seats left. So, but they're thinking about, as soon as this is all, you know, the community center is fixed, because that's still down. Roof needs to be done. Electrical's being done to it. Plumbing's being done to it. Whole 9 yards is being done to this building, but they're planning on going back to there to do their meetings.
Well, maybe they'll open the bathrooms up, huh?
Well, the public bathrooms out in the park, I don't know, John, but that's definitely one issue I'm going to tackle, is that they at least leave them open from 8 to 8 every day. Doesn't matter. Doesn't Saturday, Sunday, it don't fucking matter. You're off, you're coming in, you're just unlocking the fucking bathrooms. But I do believe that should be a resource that's open to the children of Aguilar, because there are a lot of kids here. I know everybody sees the older part of the community here, and a good majority of that community is older here, but there is a younger community. There are people that are moving into Aguilar from outside with their kids. We can't figure out why just yet, but maybe it's because we're here and they know that the town's going to turn around, John. Who knows? But there are kids and there are people out here that could use those restrooms. They're public. They should be open.
Well, You know, you also said something that kind of struck me in this too, which is that they want to go back to this room, but generally this room is standing room only. And my thing is if there's not enough room for everybody to attend those meetings by the open meetings law or even their Bob's rules would have to be.
I don't know. Was it just me that lost you?
That paperwork.
Well, folks, bear with us. There's storms going through Colorado. They get a little windy out there, and right now I think you guys right.
Always a good time.
Well, I was listening to you and then I lost you, so I don't know. I don't know if that was my internet, your internet. I don't know what was going on.
You're cutting in and out.
Well, we're all a little of this, yeah.
Well, and the last 2 times I told him he was not allowed on my property.
You can't stop the utility.
I can stop him from coming on my property. The paperwork that she handed the sheriff said that the only reason they have to come in on the property is to maintain or fix something. He was not maintaining or fixing.
read the meter.
No, it doesn't say reading the meters. That paperwork does not say reading the meters. Neither one of the papers she handed the sheriff that they gave to us.
I'm not hard, I'm just way hard.
Because I'm mad.
Wow.
And I don't think you guys don't even understand who the fuck I am. To piss me off.
Watch your language for one thing.
Well, I don't give a fuck if you don't like my language. You have to listen.
We need to get an officer to get this. You know,
You cannot remove him.
oh yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, yeah. You cannot remove him.
Oh yeah.
That is not legal.
Yeah.
You're disrupting this meeting.
I was trying to ask questions and you were trying to
You're
answer.
disrupting this meeting. Now, you want to talk in a sensible tone? We'll listen to you. We're not going to listen to what you just said.
Alright, but, this has gone on long enough, entirely.
And who put their own private lock on a gas meter and built a box around the gas meter?
Box does not have any, screws. It's not tied in. There's just 2 pieces of pallets that I put right there. All they
Why?
have to do is slide it over and read the meter.
And
What's the difference?
so how are they supposed to get past the dog? That's tied to the meter.
He's only tied when I go to dialysis. Stays in the house almost all the time.
Well, that's the problem that they're having, is that they wanted to go in and go check those meters, read them.
Right.
And apparently you had put a lock, your own lock on there.
Why do you put a lock on there? That's not mine.
And, but,
So if there's a lock on there, it didn't come from me. If you think it's mine or somebody else put it on, you have my permission to take it off.
okay.
Was there a lock on that?
Yeah, it was their lock. They locked it.
It wasn't the town's lock?
No, it wasn't a town lock. It was his.
Okay.
No, I didn't put a lock on there.
I wonder, did he have his name on the lock or something?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, how do you know that it was his lock? Just because there's a lock on there doesn't mean that necessarily he put it on there.
Well, you know if it's the town's lock because it will say master on it.
Right?
Right? Because no other lock says that. No, none.
Yeah, and just a point of clarification: the gentleman that said that he was disrupting the meeting. Congratulations, folks. You just witnessed a guy trying to violate another man's rights during the public comment section of a council meeting, and then tried to use the sheriffs to enforce that will. Notice that these cowards won't have anything to do with you. They won't put their hands on you, but they'll turn around and they'll try and get an armed gunman to do it.
Yeah, but this is also the same gentleman at the last meeting. You see how close he's sitting to Donald right there? If you notice, over the years, slowly but surely, he's been moving his chair away from Donald. And not just in a figuratively expression, like he is literally moving his chair slowly away from Donald as we've covered all of this, because and you notice that even in the last meeting he didn't even say anything about the signs. Nothing, not a single word. This is the guy that was like, oh, we're not going to listen to your speech. He don't say shit no more. He's learned.
I hope so.
All right, here we go. Let's go a little further.
So I do not have key for it.
Says
So-
the felon.
And if I can clarify, I sent John there 4 times last, whenever this happened, because you didn't pay your bill, you didn't make arrangements, I sent him to turn it off. Then on the 15th, that was on the 4th. And then on the 15th, when I did delinquents and saw you still hadn't paid, well, gee, they're living with no water, can you please go check and make sure the utilities are back on illegally? Went over there, and I believe the gas meter was padlocked, and the water meter from your house had a hose going to your other house feeding water there. That's why they were sitting over there 4 times, because we had to keep going to turn your water off, your gas off, and make sure that it wasn't illegally turned on. I asked for meters or padlocks to be put on the 15th during the delinquent time. Couldn't padlock your water meters because it's not possible, and the gas meter already had a lock on it. Well, lo and behold, after I sent John there, somebody came in and paid your bill, so he had to go back to turn your services on. And when he got there, your services were already coming back on your own. And the padlock on the gas meter is where that now, if we want to turn the gas off, we can't, because the padlock's holding it, so we can't turn the gas off. That's why he was there 4 times, and if you looked on your own guys' post, it wasn't just you that Ron was out more than once to read the meter. Anybody who gets turned off on the 15th, if they're not on, I have whatever utility worker it is, go recheck and make sure people haven't turned their utilities on illegally. If they have done that, I have them turned back on and put a padlock on them if it's possible. On most of the meters, it's not possible because they're so old and outdated. We can't padlock them. So that's why he was there, and I'm the one that sent John 4 times, not Tyra.
So,
But every time he read the meter at the 327 house, it was exactly the same gallons.
And what happened was, I had him check your meter, and then the following week, we started bills, so he went out to read the meters for billing. And we couldn't do that, so yes, we had to go an extra time with the sheriffs to read your meters.
Right, and my gates were locked, and the sheriff deputy can jump up, climb over the fence, to read my.
Because we have an ordinance.
Which is
we know that.
illegal.
We have an ordinance saying that if you have utilities in the town of Aguilar, the town utility workers are able to go in there whether you like it or not to read the meters. So if you don't want anybody in your yard, how about you just pull your services and you can get one?
that's enough, that's enough.
Says, I read it before.
Well, you got your answer to why they were going to.
They also have an ordinance that all the meters are supposed to be taken off of their properties.
They do.
Somebody should drug test her. I think she's on coke.
I mean, look at her go, huh?
Dude, and look at the face. She's freaking mad as all hell.
And who really asked her anyway? Remember, this is his 3 minutes.
And
That's Stephanie right there. That's the lady that said that she was going to get her lawyers on us and she wanted our names, and I gave her you people, and she goes, "What do you mean you people?" That's Stephanie.
I think the bigger question is just because she works for the town, she thinks she can interrupt people. She's not even part of the council. She's not even supposed to say jack crap until after.
Well, and if you notice, she said somebody else came, lo and behold, somebody else came in and paid your bill, and then they had to go turn it back on. How is it anybody's business? Whatever.
Well, here's the
it's-
thing. It sounded to me like she admitted that she was the one that put the lock on there, or had somebody put the lock on there.
I mean, Robert clearly said it's not his. They could arrange to take it off. It's not his.
Right. And if she's claiming that supposedly he was messing with the utilities, don't you think that the town might have stuck a fucking lock on it so that way maybe he wouldn't mess with the utilities? But we also have another clip of where they state that not all of the meters are really up to date. So it's not like all of them have a lock on it.
I got that clip coming. I got that clip coming too.
They can't lock down a lot of the meters. So even if they shut you down, they can't lock it down.
All right, let's finish this one real quick.
So I would like to ask council to make sure that the harassment does not continue.
Or they can see there is harassment.
What about Mark did in January?
You know, we're done.
It's done? That's all? You're just not even talking about it?
Yeah,
And he's still allowed to be on the board even though he's missed 5 meetings in a row?
we're done. Thanks for
And
coming.
one more thing, Russ, here pretty quick, we won't have to deal with them like that. We'll get the meter pits and everything taken out of the yard. That way we don't have to, put up with this nonsense.
How's that your decision? A maintenance worker overrules the council? You're a maintenance worker. This is the town council.
Okay, well, we can argue about all this stuff, so.
Years ago.
Yeah, well, all indoor, inside these meters and all that's supposed to be on the outside anyway. I know they already done like 3 or 4. So, all right, well.
What did he just say, guys? What did he just say right there? I know you guys heard that, right?
Well, all indoor, inside these meters and all that's supposed to be on the outside anyway.
Huh?
Right?
Huh?
The man made a mistake apparently, and he admitted the meter was supposed to be outside the fence line.
Huh? But they think they have an ordinance that says they can go in there, but actually the ordinance says that the meters are not supposed to be on there, right? But and that's the mayor saying that, oh, they're supposed to have been moved out because that was the newest ordinance. But yet, would you think that they would continue to come on his property? You know? Yeah, I mean, even after this meeting where the mayor says, well, those meters are supposed to be moved outside.
And if there's been right, that's what I was about to say. They're supposed to be moved outside of the gate. So if all these meters and everything are supposed to be outside the gate, but we also have a clip of them stating that, oh, well, these meters are supposed to be new meters and all we're supposed to have to do is drive by and read them, but all the batteries are bad and we couldn't get the replacement batteries.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a clip.
I got the clip ready too, but
clip of that too.
This one's almost done, but I just think those are pertinent spots, right? Like, we'll just come remove his pit, his meter pit, blah blah blah. The maintenance guy says, you know, there's a like, my gosh, where will they go to? You know,
I know they already done like 3 or 4. So, all right, well,
So there's one more thing I would like to ask.
time's up. Think about it. Yeah.
Ira mentioned she was gonna be sending me code violations. I've been waiting a month and a half. I I'm done in.
I'm going for the sheriff department anyway, so.
You should gonna send me code violations?
Have you received one?
No.
Okay then.
So, like I say, you came in, you asked a question, why we're in your yard, you got your answer. Cop,
Yeah,
what got covered?
I would just like to add it, and, maybe you remember my older brother?
They really don't care.
He would just like to, that we could visit.
Cool.
He's
Threaten
like
me.
to- No, I'm not threatening you. He said he would like to, catch up on old times.
That would be great. See ya.
You know how my brother is, don't you?
I don't care. See ya.
Wouldn't want to be ya.
He's still running the mouth.
See ya.
Robert, your time's up, man. In 3 minutes, that's time to go. You can still stay.
Hey, he's not running the meeting either.
Just time to get up.
Let me ask.
You're not running the meeting, this is the town council.
There's 3 minutes to go.
You're not running the meeting. You're not running the meeting.
He's already asked him to leave. It's 3 minutes up, you got your time.
Look, there's a town council right here. It's their job to do this. Are you on the town council?
Let's do that.
Did they ask you to interfere?
He's already asked, they've asked him numerous times to go up there, so he has rights, he has the time, and that's that.
At this time, I'm gonna ask the board to go ahead and take a vote on ending the meeting. This is given to.
So before you vote, let me just say that the last
The town has things to discuss.
interrupting me every single time before my time is up. So when he does that, he's supposed to start doing this over again. Correct? Yes, that's exactly how the laws are. You guys don't follow your own laws, but you expect us to follow the same rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, I don't know
Crazy.
say this, but that's the point of the meeting where Robert should have got up and said, "See, Guile, holy shit."
You know?
Well, and that's how they used to be, John.
Up until recently.
Yeah. We're not, we're not going to get to the fact that as of recently, the no recording signs are removed and Donald didn't even have a clue. So I find it funny that the guy that, the council is supposed to go to for everything doesn't know a goddamn thing because he didn't even know the signs were down. Sarah had to tell him about the signs. That was hilarious. And then on top of it, when his vote got taken away, and he refused to sit there and go, I'm gonna call CML. CML, that's good enough. We're done. And Vern's like, nope, I've got a motion. I got a second. It's going to vote. He was pissed.
Yeah.
A lot.
He was pissed because he saw everything that he worked for and everything that he had gone in an instant.
Right. Exactly. He's seeing it all go down the tubes. Tyra decides she's going to go out. We're still unclear on what's going on, if it's an FMLA thing or an administrative leave thing or a crazy thing. I'm sorry, that's mean. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, it's just, crazy things happen. You know what I'm saying? Crazy things happen. So, so what's this clip that we have here? Oh, this is when they came to do the meter checks and whatnot and so forth.
Oh man, yeah, this is a good one. Here we go.
Okay. So these guys can just harass me all the time. How many times a month do they need to check my meter, sir?
How many times have they done it?
This will be the fourth time this month. He was just here yesterday. He was here on the 18th.
And you heard in the last clip that Stephanie said she sent them 4 times. So she sent Tyra this time. This was the 4th time. So she sent her boss, I guess.
Right?
And he was here a week before that.
Go ahead.
Question, GCM. Why was she taking pictures of the property?
Right.
Well, this was
that
also. Well, hold on. This was also around that same time where she was trying to work with Bird and trying to get any type of code violation that she could on Robert and Good Citizen. So the guise was to come onto the property and check the meter. Problem is she can't really get past the front gate because that's where that meter is. And
they used the right to access.
What she did is she took pictures.
You heard them say,
right.
So that meter is right there by her foot, okay, in the ground. Where it needs to be is on the other side of that fence behind her, okay. So she's using the basically the right of way, which I have in this video. It states exactly what it says when they're allowed to come and not. This is what the cop just handed me. So coming up here, we'll read that off, and I'll show you what I mean there. So here.
This targeted harassment. These guys are violating my rights, and if you want to be a part of that, that's fine. I just want to make sure.
I'm not a part of nothing. I'm a part of giving you this. Make sure they have ease of access to this, so they can check in, read the meters, and do all that stuff.
Well, you would agree there's a fence here. We're signed, and we're gated, and they've been told to stay off my property.
Again, if you read that paperwork.
That's that paperwork, guys. Right away across private lands. So over and under. Says they have the right to erect poles, wires, pipes, regulator stations, substations, systems, and offices upon making just compensation. What does that have anything to do with? An electric transmission line is listed in here. That's not anything that they were dealing with.
Yeah, I don't see anything about reading a meter.
You know?
Right.
Let's go a little further. But yeah, I just don't,
Birdman from Shawshank Redemption. You got Tyra on the phone.
Nice. How's it going, Tyra?
Good. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. Just figured I'd try to get an update status on one, our info, two, if we got those dudes cited with any of those things to make their lives a little more difficult, and then make sure that you had a copy of my pool for the PR for Aguilar.
Okay.
Got what your money paid for tonight.
Yeah, I know. I'm like that. I'm like, bam, let me just bombard you with everything right off the bat. I guess starting with info.
Okay, so info goes, I got the mid-code ID stuff. I can get you those videos and the reports tomorrow. The city of Walsenburg is going to be a little bit more intense because we have an agreement with them from back in 2020, and they're not supposed to charge us, they're not supposed to make money off it, so it's pre-gas bill charge. And so that's going to be an issue too. And then they charge us now for the increase. They're going to owe us something back on that too as well. So
tell Bird about that. Didn't Mike Sexton go and pay Abaca and Good Citizens bill today so they don't get their shit shut up?
Yeah, but you can't really say like.
Are you fucking hearing this shit? Are you fucking hearing this shit?
These cats are Looney Tunes.
Yo, I'm telling you, son, like this ain't no joke. This ain't no fucking joke. Like this
ruthless, man. If we just talking about a city council, man. I hate to think of what the mayor and and those cats are like.
Bro.
He says. Jesus.
So I took a screenshot of your PayPal stuff, so I got that then while you guys were talking.
Yeah, or you can just click on it, and then there's a little like weird looking symbol at the top corner, top right corner. You click that, it says copy URL link, and then you can just copy and paste it to her.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, he says he's going to go on at 9 o'clock to blast him. So.
Oh, yeah? Did you listen to that?
I just went on 9 o'clock to blast everybody. That's what I do, ladies and gentlemen. I'm an itty bitty tyrant bird. Like, you will learn that if you're doing foul shit,
ouch,
if you are fucking evil as fuck and are willing to see it through, chances are there'll be a fucking individual just like me lurking in the fucking shadows, just waiting for an opportunity to expose it for what it is. Now, mind you, I have Adam talking about hiring me on and funding me to come beat people up. I have Tyra over here fucking talking about, yeah, I will absolutely go after fucking every ordinance that I can possibly hit him for. I reiterate it in this call just for your fucking viewing pleasure. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is serious business.
I will pay you to
Hold on. I'm sorry. Yeah, I will pay you.
I will pay you to attack a couple media personalities.
Fuck, dude, I can't quit hitting that audio button. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would pay you to attack a couple media personalities. She's not saying she's gonna pay you, Bird, to go and make us look good tonight for PR for Aguilar. No, she is telling you, I'm gonna pay you to attack these motherfuckers who keep filming us and requesting records.
Joe, it's under the guise of PR, mind you, right? Like I wrote it up as PR. I told them,
Yeah,
and I have it recorded that I was writing it up as PR. However, I was also very fucking to the point that, you know, what we are doing is targeted harassment, right? Like that's what they were paying for. Now,
There you go. You made it clear.
Go to it. Nice. Yep, got a hundo in there. Sweet weed. You guys rock. Yeah, no, hell yeah, that's a good start. So cool. Well,
That's a good start.
She's a great PR.
In that, $100 for targeted harassment. That's kind of cheap for targeted harassment.
It's a good start.
It's a good start.
well, yeah, give me that video real quick. And then as soon as I get that video, as long as it's before 9, I'll have time to review it real quick and then prep. And then as soon as I get that video, I'll spark up that live and we'll get it rocking and rolling.
Tyler, is this the one you sent me, or are you going to send me one?
I don't think I sent you. I think I sent directly to you. Bird.
Okay, yeah, let me check my email real quick.
Yeah, it's in a zip file.
Okay, yeah, give me a second here and I'll dig that out. Just make sure I got access to all that. Let's see here. Gmail. Okay, nothing yet. Let me just double check my spam folder. Sometimes it does stuff. Last thing that popped in there was April 12th. Yeah, so it's probably just going to take it a minute. As soon as I get it, I'll let you know. And if I don't get it as the show approaches, what I'll do is I'll hit up Adam and then we'll figure out what's going on. Awesome. We'll get excited. Like we're gonna wreck shit tonight.
Oh yeah, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. Like I said, we'll deal with this little fucking problem for sure. Like they can't use their First Amendment to attack you without you being able to use your First Amendment to attack back, right? So yeah. So we'll get after it. So cool. But yeah, I'm gonna get rolling on that, and then we'll go from there.
All right, man. Sounds good. I'll see you soon.
Yep. I'll send you a confirmation as soon as I got that video.
All right, sounds good.
All right, later.
Join large-scale battles with military vehicles. The online action.
Goddamn commercials.
Yeah, that's funny though, right?
Well, I'll say this: $100 goes a lot further than I thought it did.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty wild. That was just a start, though. They clarified that was just a good start, right?
Hell yeah.
For targeted harassment and beatings.
Good faith money.
She got a deal.
Meow.
Well, actually, I should rephrase that. It wasn't $100. It was $1,000 that she was supposed to pay him. The $100 was the good faith money, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Say
that
hi,
was just-
Cricket. Say hi, Cricket. Well, this is probably a good point. You know, let's do a little intermission here, and we'll let people go grab something to drink, use the restroom, and we'll get to a couple more clips here. Let's play this here.
This here's a story about a faking and tyrant. Two young lovers with nothing better to do. They sit around the house, get high, can change batteries. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose. They headed down to Aguilar. That's where they ran into a great big hassle. Faking bacon, shot a man's windows while giving them hassles. Tyrant got cold feet, took the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run. So Martian is a detective down in Los Angeles. You know he knows just exactly what the fact is. He ain't gonna let those two escape justice. He makes his living off other people's taxes. Tyrant, whoa, whoa, she slipped away, faking bacon, caught up to her the very next day. They got the money, hey, you know they got away. They headed down south and they're still running today, singing, go on, take the money and run. Take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run. Oh, Lord. Go on, take the money and run. Yeah, yeah. Go on, take the money and run. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Go on, take the money and run. Oh, Lord. Go on, take the money and run. Go on, take the money and run.
Okay, but who's gonna do Tyra's work is what we're saying.
The county part of the bills.
Somebody has to balance the books.
Maybe we'll find out Tyra's not important.
Maybe. I was muted. Maybe we will find out Tyra's not important. After all of this targeted harassment against GCM, against Robert, against other people in the community, how's it going to end? Right now, we know that Tyra's not around right now, as far as locals are concerned and whatnot. Nobody's seen Tyra. So after all of this targeted harassment to keep the media away from the town hall and what's going on with the town hall, as well as the citizens, keeping them away, and the town's business is not the town's business. So after all that, we've got Tyra gone, FMLA, don't know where she's at, supposedly because nobody knows what's going on with the finances. Supposedly, there's a lot of money missing, a lot. Apparently, all the accounts are in the minus, and some accounts weren't even accounted for. So, where are we at now? What do we do? There was talk about putting a treasurer or somebody in her position. Now, don't you think that somebody should be in her position? She shouldn't be gone for 3 months and everything's just going to sit still, right?
Well, they can't even do a meeting without her. Think about that.
Well, I thought they couldn't reprimand her as long as she wasn't there.
Yeah, but remember, she told the council members that she was on vacation, and that's why there was no meeting, because she's the one that has to do that if they want it done right. So what are we going to do there?
Well, what kind of scares me is what kind of medical is she out on, right? Because if it has to do with, say, and I'm not saying that this is happening, but if it's a mental issue,
she might have caught some horse worms.
Yeah,
horsehair worms.
Well, here's my thing though: is if it's a medical and it has to do with something that has to do with mental faculties, that kind of makes me wonder. Was this going on prior to her FMLA? And if so, how's that going to play out with other things that are going on between her and court? You know what I mean? Court cases that she's involved in.
Right. Well, there's going to be a lot of issues here. There's a lot of questions because, of course, Tyra was supposed to be reprimanded at this meeting. Like, she knew that the council had a couple of letters of reprimand for her, and she flat out told those council members, "You can't reprimand me as long as I'm not here." But I think she forgot that she told the council members that. So, from what I'm hearing, that's why it's changing from FMLA to administrative leave, because they had to come up with a way to still give her leave, but they still needed to contact her too, because there was a big issue with that. But let's get to this clip here. I mean, this is a great clip from about a year and a half back, and this is all part of the targeted harassment. Tonight's theme, if you haven't guessed it, is targeted harassment. That's
bunch of fucking bullies. You're tyrants.
Word of the show.
You are.
Robert, all I need to do is read your water meter. Can I please read your water meter for billing?
I told him we'll send him the meter reading.
Well, I was here last week. That was not.
He was just here on both properties trespassing after I told him not to.
That was not for monthly.
We'll be contacting the sheriffs.
Tell me which day of the month that you need it read.
You've been informed. You've been informed. You're trespassing. If you come across this gate, you are trespassing. Okay.
No, everybody has.
Maybe the town's meters should be in working order so you can read them the way they're supposed to be. Maybe, maybe instead of paying for hits, you should be paying for batteries, lady.
I don't want to cause any problems.
No, I know you don't, Sarah.
I just want to read the meters. That's it. You cannot purchase the batteries for that. I called. The batteries are obsolete. You cannot get any. So until we can update our system,
that you guys said
Right.
you have to read the meter.
Right.
Before this
we've
month,
been reading this meter for months.
No, you have not. Neither properties.
In the yard. My cameras record all the time. Nobody's been in the yard for a long time, sir. Not on my meters.
Yes, I have. You weren't here the last time I read it.
I get what you're saying, okay?
No, you don't. You guys are violating my rights. Keep it up. Keep it up. Fucking tyrants, man. Look at this show of force for targeted harassment. This is the fourth time this month that they've been to these two homes. Targeted harassment. So you guys do understand this is a US 18-241 and 242 violation, right?
So
I'm just making sure you guys know that.
we provide
Okay.
state laws, man. So we're just here to do a simple standby. That's all.
Okay.
They just follow the state laws, guys. And they're trying to use the ease of access that I put up earlier. That doesn't say
Right.
anything about messing with my meters. And we know that Donald the mayor already said that those meters are supposed to already be out on the easement and not in the yards. But they've only done 2 or 3 in the whole town.
Yeah, but you also heard Sarah sit there and say that their system is obsolete. Their system, again, like I said a little bit earlier, if you're just joining, their system is supposed to have a wireless reading system. So that way, all they have to do is drive by your house and it tells them how much water you used, how much gas you used, and they don't even have to come over onto your property. But apparently, all of the batteries and all of these units are going bad. The batteries are no longer made, they're obsolete, and they needed to update their system. We haven't even heard anything about updating the fucking system at all, period, since that point. Like nothing brought up in a court, nothing brought up in a council meeting, nothing. Like I don't even think that they've even come back around to even try to update the systems anywhere in this town.
Right.
Well,
you don't have a right to be secure in your land here, you know. That's what they're trying to say.
to be fair, I mean, technically they did move Robert's meter. It just wasn't into the street.
Right, they did. They moved it into the back of the town hall or something, huh?
Right?
They moved his meter. Right off the property.
Right.
Hey, that reminds me, did he get a security deposit for that meter back yet?
They claim they're applying it towards the bill.
They can't do that legally.
Even in their contract, it says it can't be applied towards the bill, but they are telling him they're applying it towards the bill.
Right. And that was brought up at the last meeting as well, is that somebody had brought up the fact of the payment plans. Well, Robert has been trying to get a payment plan. So, I mean, it's not that he wants to get the bill done and taken care of. But it should have been done properly and legally as well, is also his point. But they're not doing it properly. They're not doing it legally. And then they turned off his services, and he needs those services. He had 2 different doctors write notes into Tyra, and Tyra treated the doctors like she treats John. Apparently John doesn't exist, everybody.
According to her.
John doesn't exist, and neither do those doctors, so they're not putting back in that meter, even though she was told to by law to put those meters and everything back in and turn on the services, regardless whether he owes money or not. This is the dead set of in the middle of wintertime. The guy is on dialysis and is disabled. He needs gas. He needs water, and you cannot deny him services like that in the middle of wintertime.
Hey, you people,
Cannot.
remind me again, what town was it that ended up having to go on a payment plan because they weren't paying their bills?
There's a couple of people that are associated with the town hall that have been on payment plans, and the payment plans haven't been paid, and
Well,
that was
you know, I think the point is the town can get behind $65,000-$70,000 in their gas bill, but if Robert gets behind $700 in his gas bill, they come and do all these extreme things to the man.
right, and that's that
Because
that is,
it's a fact. It was proven that Tyra was wrong. Her numbers weren't right. They did owe everything in full for that gas bill that they disputed. And since it was in dispute, she said she's not paying a dime
yes,
on it
and
until the dispute is finished. Well, Robert had a dispute with them as well. Was disputing the water. They say the water is potable water. It's not. I don't think they can prove it's potable water, right? That was the argument. Like there's a price difference anywhere you go between potable and non-potable water. And so if you're paying a potable water price and you're getting non-potable water, that's a problem. That's a dispute. That was an open dispute. But the utilities are combined together on the same bill, gas and water. So they targeted his gas. So stole his meter, and then then they said, well, that was used for your bill, but yet it doesn't show on his bills, and it says in the contract it can't be used for the bill. It has to be returned. So yeah, let's roll it a little bit further here, because yeah, here's 242. Yup. Those gotta have those.
Oh, Tyra over there.
There's Tyra.
This is targeted harassment right here, guys. You see it. We'll make these idiots famous. Yep. Look at them. Trespassing. They can't even come through my fucking gate, dude. Look at them. Look at this shit. And this is okay. Colorado state law says they can do whatever the fuck they want. Fucking tyrants.
You need anything else?
Yeah, I need you guys to act right, bro.
Dude,
This is targeted harassment. I've given them ordered cease and desist. Targeted harassment.
Colorado state law.
No, it is not. They do not have to come every week and check my meter. That is targeted harassment. I have video of these motherfuckers. This is the 4th time this month. I don't even have water on. Why do they need to check my meter?
I've been raising my voice.
I can raise my voice as loud as I fucking want, bro. I have free fucking speech. Fuck the police. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
I know you.
That's how shit works. Cool.
So they're probably not going to get very far with any of that.
No, he doesn't have any sources because I'm the next person he gives the info to is the emergency manager because he's the next down here in the line to assist them. So I have everything beforehand.
So, okay, I'm going into dick mode a little bit here. So bear with me and tell me if I'm taking things too far. But is there anything that we can do with like codes, ordinances? Is there anything that we can do with, law that can make these guys' lives difficult?
You can.
So, I mean, because I really don't know. I know you guys know a little bit about like their living situation and stuff like that, but like, what kind of violations or codes or like what kind of actions can we take to make these guys' existence there miserable?
Well, right now they don't have water because they didn't pay their bill, but we can't say that out loud.
Fair enough. You know what I'm saying, Joe? Can't say that out. What do you mean you can't say that out loud, Councilwoman? What do you mean you can't say that? You just did. You just said it to the fucking world. I mean, 7 people watching, not a really big deal, right? But nonetheless, I mean,
we go put it on my shit.
I mean, holy fuck, Joe. Holy fuck. Like, really, dude? Like, all of a sudden it's like that? Like,
did she really again decide how can I hurt these guys? These
Joe.
press?
Joe, more than you know. I asked, like, what can we do to make it miserable for these dudes, right? But hold on, it gets better. Fair enough. All right, so they don't have water. That's good. As far as like, are there properties in any type of violations that we can enforce?
The weeds and all his junk and the cars. Yep, I mean there's plenty.
How quick can we take action on that and start citing them for those things?
Right away.
Ain't the code enforcement guy anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's why I was kind of asking, because I know you're not employed there now, Adam. So, but I imagine the council can still send them letters in the mail and the rest of that, right?
Correct. Actually, we do it out of the office, so I pretty much take a drive and see who's on the list, and we go from there.
Do you think we can slap them down with that stuff this upcoming week?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Unfucking believable.
Now tell me that that's not going straight to Fox News. Like, yo, son, like two things are happening first thing in the morning, right? Is this itty bitty tyrant bird, okay, guys, is going to have to make a call into the FBI and inform them that there's violations to U.S. Code 241 and 242.
Conspiracy of deprivation of rights. That is exactly what these
rights.
guys are doing.
It's exactly what they're doing. And not just that, Joe, but I mean, it gets better. Like, honestly, it does. It gets better. But let's go ahead and listen. I think that by far was probably one of the most condemning things that I've heard so far, though, right? Is that she's on some, yeah, we can cite the fuck out of them. Like, yeah, no problem. I can get those things out. Yeah, we can start doing that this week.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. And she's willing to give you personal shit that she ain't supposed to be talking about, their bills and shit.
And that's an issue too, Joe. That's an issue. When does your fucking interactions in the public become counterproductive to your position of government? I would say as soon as you start doing things that, randomly target people, groups, and individuals that you dislike, especially when that dislike is based on somebody's First Amendment. Now,
Well, what do you think?
Nothing says conspiracy like a conspiracy.
You know? Yeah.
I don't know.
And the sad part is, and the sad part is all of this has been sitting on a DA's desk for a year and a half.
Yeah. And you know what's funny? He didn't get it just once. As far as we know, he's gotten it twice. This stuff was sent to him twice. And what Bird said is he was calling the FBI, and that call was actually made.
Well, and instead they end up arresting Robert for chalk, right?
Yeah.
We made that song about it. Take a little intermission, run that little song, right?
He roams the streets, colors his dreams, draws with no fear, free as he seems. Chalk in his hand, brightens the land, faces in awe, he makes a stand. He's a great sidewalk chalker, on in the loose, in prison for colors, but now he's free as a goose. Lines on the ground, happiness found, spreading his art all through the town. Jail for chalk, but he won't stop. Tyrant's been exposed, now the office doors are closed.
A little ditty about it,
Well,
So-
I would like to make a confession right here live. Robert wasn't the one that did the sidewalk chalk that got him arrested. It was me. I just want that out there because I did it.
I thought it was me, John.
Listen, I don't know where you were. I just know where I was. Robert didn't do it. It was me.
Oh, well, I don't know. I thought it was me, but maybe I missed you. I mean, there was
Maybe it was Robert's brother.
It's possible. Maybe it was you people. I'm just saying.
Maybe.
I'm confessing to a crime. I did it.
If you seen Robert's brother, you'd shit yourself, guys. Like they look a lot alike. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Almost
Yeah.
twins.
Almost, yeah. Like maybe it was him. I mean, you heard Robert talking about his brother in the meeting, so maybe he showed up, did some chalking, you know, and yeah, maybe it was LB. I've seen, you know, seen a lot of artists. Could be LB. You just never know.
Also
You
came
know-
out of the, rose from
you
the
know-
dead.
You know, this could be a chalking ring.
It could be a whole ring, you know.
Well, you wait until the next one because
It could be a whole ring. You might have a RICO charge.
Be
here.
writing on the wall. Why did the attorney not answer my letter of intent? That's going to be mine.
Yeah, that good old attorney.
Yeah, you know, nothing like violating the law, like violating the law.
Well, like I say, they'll arrest a man for chalk, but somebody that goes through all that and does all that, you know, they don't bother because, well, they're government actors, and the government protects the government. So
Yeah, well, I'm curious to see. I mean, I don't know. Do you think the harassment would have stopped at any point, or does it continue?
well, if the charges was to go through, then that might have stopped it, right? Because that's going to be part of the charges. That was kind of part of the point there, but it hasn't stopped still to this day, right?
Well, and we also need to be clear on his charges as well. His charges were disorderly conduct and harassment.
Yeah, and again, we have to remind people.
Harassment of an elected official.
Yeah. But again, the statute reads that they would have to be in imminent fear of harm. And even if, and I'm not an attorney, this isn't legal advice, I want to put that out there, but even if Robert was the one that did that, right? It seems to me that they're going to have an issue because she's a government official, because if he was writing on the wall, and again, it's alleged he did it, they would have to prove, one, that she was in imminent harm at the time he did it. She wasn't there. And two, that it was towards her. So I don't know about you, but the word I saw on the side of the building or the side of the wall was tyrant. I'm sorry, but you don't get Tyra from tyrant. Unless the dictionary has changed, I'm at a loss.
Oh, you didn't know? I mean, you can't spell tyrant without Tyra, but there's a confusion there, a disconnect. It's not all about Tyra. Like it's a fact. You can't spell tyrant without Tyra.
Well, she is correct. Whoever put that sign is correct. The only problem is they don't own the name.
I think she's trying to. She said she's got to live up to the name or something to that effect, I believe was the quote. So she's trying.
Yeah, I gotta live up to the name.
Maybe she should
Gotta live up to the name.
Yes. So that's the thing. She's got to live up to it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, right now she's out on the FMLA, so I'm not so sure that name would apply, but okay.
Right. Couldn't possibly be any other tyrant. It has to be her. It just has to be. She knows it.
Yeah, it couldn't be the mayor that was screaming at Robert, telling him to shut up and that his time was done and threatening him. Couldn't have been
Right.
that.
Couldn't have been that tyrant. It had to be. It had to be.
And it's funny because it also brings up
Cut out.
Oh,
One of the council members has been following the code of conduct and threatened me more than once. Once, he had a gun in his jacket, he reached for it. We were right in front of the windows, that was on the night. So what happened then, he was standing out his arms like that. My neighbor was driving, rolled the window down, and he was over there, and he asked him if he was buying. Wow, neither one of us drinks. So it was a joke. And Mark got really paranoid and said we're following him around. Asked him if why he was following him and making him look crazy. And then he said, "Oh, you want to find out?" And he put his hand in his jacket to grab a gun. Then TJ said, "Well, I'm not afraid of you." He goes, "Well, I don't believe you are." And as soon as he said that, he leaned all the way into that. One of the council members has been following the code of conduct and threatened me more than once. Once, he had a gun in his
oh,
jacket.
yeah, that was, and it didn't finish because that was just a clip. But Robert was saying there that the gentleman over on the end with his hand over his face, that gentleman over there, he threatened Good Citizen and he threatened Robert and reached into a vehicle and grabbed Robert after opening up the
Right,
door.
and there was witnesses. It was on camera. There was witnesses. There's audio. There's video. All that, dude. And Robert was asking, again, part of the targeted harassment as to why. Why is this happening to me? Why is your board member trying to rip me out of a vehicle and such?
Right.
Well, that's just like the start of it too.
Right. I mean,
I'm sure
that's
that
not the only time that he's gone up and that's not. Go ahead.
I'm sure there's more.
Oh yeah, there's always more. I mean, there's always more. There's this one here.
Has had John call from my yard 4 times in the same month to read the water at the gas. 4 times. The last 2 times I told him he was not allowed on the property. On my property, the work that she had to share, that is the only reason they have coming on property.
Oh well, that's the same thing. We got so many clips, I can't keep them straight.
Well, it's kind of different, but he's
Can't keep
explaining
them straight. We got
the
so many
paper.
clips, man.
He's explaining the paper that says it doesn't say for me to reading, So anyway, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. We'll go back.
That's
to that. I'm gonna-
it's hard to hear it anyways. So, but yeah,
Right.
That's ultimately what he was getting at. He put him on notice, So,
I mean, we've just got so many clips. It's not even funny. For the past 2 years, it's just been nothing but targeted harassment.
Can I point out the
And
irony?
then, we've got good old Stephen Vicky. Go ahead.
I just want to point out the irony. The irony in this is the guy being charged with harassment is the one that was being harassed by the person who filed the charges. That's irony.
Right. Most
You're
definitely.
absolutely right.
But that's how it goes.
Nothing
Yeah.
like victim blaming, right?
It's par for the course here.
You know, and that's what gets you, you know, is the fact that you're saying it's par for the course. That's where the problem lies, you know, and that's, I'm speechless.
Huh? I mean, we were kind of speechless. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that has happened that we were like, oh my God, I can't even believe that happened. And I'm looking for one. Here's one. Here's one here. We'll share this tab instead. We'll share this tab instead. So we'll bring this up and you know, we've had things like this happen to us.
Our daughter Tyra here has been through the mill. Okay, she's even having health problems because of all this. She had to go to a doctor and everything else. She tried to get her. When did she try to get a restraining order?
Oh,
Our daughter.
She
tried to get restraining orders, but she's been run through the mill. You know,
her house.
She's been
Her
run through
house
the
is
mill.
bad.
She's got all. I mean, right, and you can see how long this has been going on, and now we're at a point where it's like FMLA.
Well, maybe we should ask Adam about her health.
If at first you don't succeed, try again. You know, she has to be the victim one way or another. That's what narcissists do.
Absolutely.
well, then I can say whatever I want to him.
Okay,
then.
wait a second now. Hold on a second. Look, I was a municipal judge here for 8 years. Okay, so I'm very familiar with our ordinances and even the current laws are. I don't study anymore, but you know, here's the thing. We have them on video with disorderly conduct. You can't get on a megaphone. That's unnecessary noise. Okay, so I mean, we have them on video. Now, when I talked to Navarrete, I told him, I said, you know, I understand what you're saying. We do live in a little different world, but, and this,
Hey, Vicky. Well, then I can say, hey, Vicky, Mama Vicky, come on up here. Vicky, hey, Vicky, Mama Vicky, come on up here.
what, nine years, 15 years on the fire department here. We try to do good things for the community, and then you have this. All we want to do is come back and forth to work and get our job done here without someone on a megaphone out here. And I can't believe that nothing could be done about that.
Well, like I'm saying, try to get your
you know.
I'm gonna go tomorrow.
Well,
I will go tomorrow. I will. And the bars on our windows there, we bought that building with the bars on that window. So we didn't put bars because people might think, gee, why do they have bars? A lot of people have asked us. No, we bought that building like that. And then when your dad put this building up, he thought he needed bars because we had bars because his dad owned this.
Oh, more bars.
We didn't put bars because this is a bad town. This is a good town.
Yeah.
It was people that owned an arcade over there, and they were worried kids were going to break in, you know, but that's why the bars.
What's with the
no,
bars?
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying we got bars. That's it. We got bars, and we don't need them, but we got them.
We got the bars.
We got the bars.
Stop with the megaphone.
Well, the megaphone was for protests. So Good Citizen has a megaphone for protests, and you know, you gotta be loud during protests, but you gotta be peaceful. So it's you know, in this instance, they were trying to explain to Steve and Vicky what peaceful protest actually means. It doesn't mean that you're quiet and you're just standing there holding a sign. It just means that you're peaceful. You're not starting fights. You're not, you know, trying to, you know, rile people into a fight or whatever. That's a peaceful protest. You can do it and you can do it loud. But no, that's harassment. That's harassment and disorderly conduct there, John.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this: does that mean throwing water on somebody to incite violence? Is that an issue here?
No. No. If people are in the way, apparently you can just throw water on them whenever you want. That's okay.
And that kind of raises another point because who was the one that allegedly appointed him as a municipal court judge?
Well, and I do believe that was the town board that Tyra was in control of at the point in time.
Yeah, nothing says conflict of interest, right?
Well, I mean, this is a small town. I mean, they put stuff out in the paper, but you know, that's the paper. I mean, really, how many people actually read the paper, John? So really, this is all about how you're connected, who you're connected with, and who you know out here from what it seems like. I mean, at least this council is trying to actually do things the right way. They do need a code enforcer. And it's not, they don't need it decked out with handcuffs and being a dick you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need an Adam, but they definitely need a code enforcement officer. Right. And I'm like, hey man, I mean, Adam didn't have any certifications. I can do that job. And they're like, no, we're trying to do this the right way. Technically, you're supposed to have a college degree. Oh, okay, cool. All right. No worries. Well, you know, if you guys want to do it the right way, let's do it the right way. I understand. And I give the council props for that. They're looking for people, qualified people, not just, oh, well, my cousin Joey over here, he can look at a weed and tell you if it's wrong or not.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think that realistically, the meeting the other night was a tremendous step forward for the town. You know, a lot of good things happened. Hopefully, a lot of good things will continue to happen.
Right, and we've been hoping that you know, hopefully they would run an emergency meeting. There was an issue brought up that Tyra's position as far as bookkeeper needs to be filled. I mean, that's an obvious position that needs to be filled. That's not something that can just sit for a month or whatever. A lot of stuff's going to get messed up. So we were kind of hoping to see maybe an emergency meeting this week. I mean, they agreed originally during the meeting to meet up on a Wednesday until things got switched because there is a lot of stuff on the agenda. It would be a lot of stuff on Sarah. So that's understandable. But this one agenda item needs to get done. The ad for the treasurer for Aguilar needs to get put in the paper, or they need to appoint somebody, in my opinion. But we got to watch out for that appointing stuff. We seem to get Aguilar seems to get stuck with some crazy people once we appoint them.
Well, I think the best thing to do would be to put the ad in the paper and then make it as a temporary basis and see what happens.
Right. And that was my suggestion to a few people around here, that it should be put into the paper. So that way it gives them a couple of weeks for somebody to apply by the next meeting. And then that could be handled. I mean, at least, you know, they could handle it within a couple of weeks compared to a month or two down the line when we don't even know when Tyra is going to show up and, you know, come back into play. Because as we all know, or if you don't even know, FMLA, you've got no communication with your job site. None. They can't call her for any advice. Nothing. She is blocked off from them if she's underneath FMLA. So Sarah, Stephanie, anybody in that office is pretty much caught to themselves because there's nobody in there that was able to do Tyra's position. And Sarah even admitted it. She doesn't know the bookkeeping. That's Tyra's job. The recalls. Oh, that's Tyra's job. That's Tyra's job. Everything has been Tyra's job. Why does Tyra have everybody's jobs?
Which also reminds me that there was a statement that kind of is eerie to me, which was that if I leave here, I'm going to make sure that I sue this town. So is this possibly the setup to sue the town.
Well, and that's been a lot of questions on everybody's mind. But then again, with the bombshell that Angela, the bombshells that Angela was dropping, it was kind of, a lot of people went to, did she take the money and run? Did she take the money and go and take off and grab Adam and take off? Oh, I'm sorry, fake and bake it? No, I'm sorry. Yeah. Did she take it? Did she take the money and run? So we don't know. We don't know what's going on just yet, John. Developments are still coming through. Everything is still developing.
Now, mind you, this is the same Adam that is suing the town for firing him. Am I right on that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, wrongful termination.
Wow. Looks like Adam stepped up his game for that one.
Maybe so. Yeah, paid. Paid vacay. Again.
Well, you know, the nice thing about what Alexis is saying is if she is doing work, she's in a lot of trouble.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They do what they want around here.
I don't think we should hold our breath on her getting in trouble. I mean, the DA's had that on his desk for over a year, and it was sent to him recently, as far as we know.
Yeah, amongst other ones as well, right? And he does just So you can't really expect much.
I guess equal protection under the law, you know, that 14th Amendment doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist, right? There's no 14th here.
At least not in that DA's office, right?
Right. They'll come at you with a harassment charge for somebody who chalks and doesn't even use your name. But when somebody specifically says they want somebody hit and they put money on somebody's books to do so, that's okay. There's no 14th Amendment, you know. That doesn't work here, I suppose.
He must be going under the basis of no victim, no crime.
Right. Yeah, if there's no victim, then there's no crime. So since they didn't splatter me, you know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
But wait, I'm sure there's more, right?
Oh, isn't there always?
Yeah. Well, with this group, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, never ends. They're always just trying to scheme up the next way to be the victim. You know, from day one, they was the victims. Oh, you're recording? I want that video. You know, they're the victims from day one.
Unbelievable.
And you know, how many restraining orders have they tried to put in on us? Like,
no,
as they're openly targeting and harassing us, they're going to try, not only them, but the Huffmans also, you heard in that video clip, they're going to try as well to get us restrained from using Main Street. You know, like they're victims. You know,
and let's not forget, this the secret meeting with the attorney, right? The town attorney, and the town attorney trying to come in and silence the voices of the people.
I thought about it, and I don't think it was a secret meeting. I think I don't know how well you know. I'm not sure how well you know Vicky Huffman. You probably never met her before. She's a sweetheart. I'm guessing she was just offering him a glass of water.
Looks clear to me.
It's clear. This is a clear jar. I'm gonna rinse it in case there's dust in it. Okay, clear jar. All right. Do you see anything wrong with that water? Now the bubbles are what's making it. It's bubbles in there. See that?
And we're not out here going, "Hey, Aguilar sucks, man. They got bad."
It looks clear to me.
Yes.
He was probably just getting a glass of water, John.
Yeah, just a glass. You know, it's funny because I remember one of the council meetings where somebody brought up or grabbed water from the water fountain and offered it to the council members, and they wouldn't touch it. Only one of them drank it, and you know, he's questionable.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, they didn't want to drink the water. Imagine that, huh? Yeah, it's all good though. I mean, of course, if you look at the actual numbers on the water report and stuff, it's just a copy paste job from a couple years ago. So the water's good, man. Just believe the test. If the water was bad, the state would shut them down, John.
Yeah, you mean for violations?
Yeah,
You know, the ones that they keep getting letters about.
yeah, they'd just shut them down if the water was bad, wouldn't you think? You know, so
Well, they are a statutory town.
yeah, they do what they want. That's what statutory stands for. So, and they're their own jurisdiction. So, I mean, even the sheriff's department don't have jurisdiction over them.
I don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to at least be like a U.S. Marshal or something to have jurisdiction over them. I mean, I'm guessing. Because we heard in the last meeting that the sheriff's department didn't even have jurisdiction in that town. So that was news to me.
Well,
I think that was news to the sheriffs as well. See, I'm sitting here talking and my mic is muted.
Seemed it was news to the sheriffs as well, yeah.
well, if that's the case, then that would mean that in the next meeting, the sheriffs wouldn't be needed now, would it?
Right.
Because they would be outside of their jurisdiction, right?
Hey, without them signs there, what are they going to do? I thought they was only there to enforce the signs.
Well, that's true, and unfortunately, those signs are gone. And also, that was one of the good things that came out of the meeting is that the council voted in favor of the First Amendment and recording. So, and that passed. So, good luck.
Yeah. It's funny, huh? It took a year and a half. How many thousands how many thousands of hours did they spend trying to fight the First Amendment, you know? Trying to give the First Amendment a run for its money, like it hasn't been there forever.
Well,
So-
we can't give the town all of the credit in that fight. Oh hell no, they had representation. They
Yeah,
had
right.
representation in that fight.
That's right.
You know, we got a good old
And he-
butt smear over there that was telling them that everything they were doing was A-okay.
That's right. And arguments are for courtrooms. So if anybody has a problem with it, sue them.
Yeah, well, let's not forget, too, that this is also the same guy that said that your First Amendment rights are cockamamie and that you needed to be reined in.
And he can write a complaint if need be, and get you put in front of the municipal judge and cost you some money. You know, we can start doing that, he said.
Nothing like threats of violence and coercion, right?
You know, gonna do it our way or else.
or else. Got to rein them in.
Rein him in.
Makes you wonder about his law license. You know, what kind of attorney?
Well, it makes me wonder, John, because this is a prosecuting attorney for Pagosa Springs as well.
You're kidding, right?
No, we are dead serious. John, you did not know this out of this whole entire time that Buckner, Mr. Buckner, out from Pagosa Springs, is the prosecuting attorney, and this guy was still telling this little town everything that they were doing was A-okay.
Even though now we have in you know, many eclipse that they were wrong. They were wrong. You know?
Yeah. Well, you know, maybe Donald can call CML.
Yeah, he'll get a hold of CML.
CML.
ASAP. Yeah.
We'll just make sure on this. We'll call CML. We'll call CML. That's good enough.
Yep. That's all you got to do. Then that's gonna fix it. I mean, I know that the town's attorney ain't a CML attorney now, is he?
Well, you know, it kind of.
No, last time I was like doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead, John.
Well, it raises an interesting point because any lawsuits for the town, depending on what they go, you know, it would go to Buckner, but Buckner, as far as I know, has a law firm that represents the town, and he hands it off to them to defend any lawsuits. So really, he's not even the litigator. It's somebody else.
Right, because it would be a conflict of interest. He was the town attorney, and he can't prosecute that. So he hands it off to somebody else that he knows. These are the things that we deal with out here in Southern Colorado. You're pretty much, if you're in the know and you know somebody, you probably and they're in a good position, probably, you know, good to get in with those people because you could probably, you know, make your way pretty damn good.
As long as you're willing to do threats and violence, you'll get along great with them.
Right? I mean, we've got plenty of documentation of Donald trying to find out where a guy that doesn't even technically he lives in Aguilar, right? And this is another portion of this story that gets a little bit hairy, is that there was an old town called Golnair near Aguilar, and they lost their post office, they lost their council, they lost everything. Now they're just like a random little, you know, like a little spot where there's houses. Technically, it's not even called Golnair anymore. And Aguilar technically is taking them over. So their mail goes to Aguilar, but they're not Aguilar residents, John. They can't vote in the Aguilar elections. They can't blah, 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 because Tyra says if you don't live in the town limits, which is a very small circumference of the town, if you don't live within those town limits, you can't vote. But if you don't live within those town limits, that doesn't stop the mayor from sending people out to try and find out where you live.
Yeah, and not only that, but apparently being mayor has its privileges along with having his wife serve on the council. Apparently assaulting people that are coming to the meeting is A-okay.
What's up, Karthik? What's up, Keebler? Sorry, John.
No, you're fine. I'm just saying that it's kind of funny that the same people that are running the town are the same people committing assaults on others, you know. And it's funny because the only aggression that I've ever seen so far is people that work for the town, not the people that are out there and pointing out the obvious issues. You know, that's just from my side.
No, and you're absolutely right. John is really there has been no threats of violence or whatever from the other side. It's all been from Tyra's side. Don't do this, we'll get you. Don't do that, we'll get you. A lot of it, I'm sad to say that we don't have documented, because a lot of it is we have citizens that would walk up to us and go, hey, listen, this was just told to us, blah blah blah, and they were trying to help us out, and they stopped helping us out because they were approached, they were threatened. I don't know how many times that we've had people walk up to us and say that their houses might get burnt down because of past experiences with these same people. Hell, John, my wife works with a lady that has connections down here in Aguilar, up in Pueblo, right? And she was talking with her about the stuff down in Aguilar, and she told her, her coworker who I was, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, you got to tell them to be careful. You got to tell them to be careful, because Mark and Donald and all them, they have ties. You got to tell them to be careful." That's how far the reputation of Aguilar spreads. It goes all the way up to Pueblo. I wonder if it goes any further, John.
That's insanity.
So, and you've got people up there warning my wife to warn me, hey, you got to be careful, because those people, they've got ties, and they don't care. And if you've got people out there sitting there saying that obviously shows that they have pulled shit in the past, and you got to watch out for these people.
Makes you question the fire, doesn't it, now? For that gentleman who lost his house in a fire along with his himself.
Right. And there was a big old thing with that, John, and it, not everything in it is in the paper. And in fact, the marshal that they were currently trying to get, the gentleman that denied it at that meeting, he was involved in that. He was the marshal of the town at that point in time. Apparently reports state that they went into that gentleman's house the day prior and removed all the gentleman's weapons. And then the next day, his house was on fire and he was in it. I mean, there is a lot of documentation. And then on top of it, this same guy that was the marshal for the town apparently is the coroner around here as well. I mean, as we've dived into the onion that we call Aguilar, there are a lot of layers here. And, there's a lot of conflict of interest where I'm like, how does a guy become a marshal and a coroner at the same time and gets to investigate a fire? So now he's fire marshal?
It's crazy.
John, like, this area here is crazy.
And there's no nepotism.
No,
none.
There's just no nepotism, or narcissists, So it's just a lot of victims.
Yeah, one of those you'll never understand.
Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Again, you'll be arrested for chalk, though. So, and remember, that was a citable offense. It's a petty offense. It was citable, and they made sure he was arrested.
Well, they better come in. They better come pick me up, because I'm guilty.
Well, yeah,
Me too.
Instead of just having him sign saying, "Hey, I'll show up to court," they had to make their production of getting him, dragging him to jail, bailing him out, blah 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 blah.
Well,
So-
I mean, if they're gonna arrest him, I want to be arrested too. Look. See, I'm not in Pueblo. I'm down in Aguilar here. I stole Good Citizen's house and I kicked him the fuck out. And now it's my house. This is my house. And you can come over here and you can come get me, Sheriff. So I'm as soon as the show's done, I'm gonna go chalking. I'm going chalking. The rain cleared it all off. I got canvases. out the ass out there. You can meet me out there and you can get me, just to let you know.
You might bump into John too, guys. If you want to meet him, stop out, grab your chalk.
Wow. This you can't make
No,
it
I mean
up.
we gotta get the whole crew out there, bro. Maybe oh man, this is the call to the chalk ring. Chalk ring. We're all getting together tonight. We got full canvases, rain washed everything away. Don't touch the ramp. The ramp still has good riding on it, but we've got plenty of canvases right there in front of the town hall. And I'll meet you out there tonight. We'll do a little bit of chalking and a little bit of art. It'll be fun.
Got to keep Joe busy somehow, right?
Right? Well, Joe, I think Joe says he's not going to clean it up anymore. He's not going to clean it up anymore. Uh-oh. We lost John.
He's done cleaning it.
Yeah, I think he's done cleaning it. Like, he left everything that we had put there before. He didn't even touch anything. It didn't even look swept, you know? So, I don't know. I think it depends on what we put out there. But you know me, I like to set boundaries.
It has to be favorable speech, right? That's the key. Like you can have free speech as long as it's favorable, right? That's one of those ones, right?
Right. I mean, normally I would agree that I would just put anything there, but we got to take into account that there is a park across the street. There is small children that are running around, and maybe we should be respectful and put respectful speech up there. I don't know because that's just us making the decision.
We should probably get the drinking fountain going for the kids then too, right?
Oh hell yeah!
Straight off.
I mean, I'm surprised nobody's
the water tank. Right off the water
surprised.
Tank, straight to the park for these kids to drink. I mean, we should be providing free water and bathrooms to these kids because they're so worried about the speech, right? So, we can stop having the kids shit in the bushes now, guys. Let's open the bathroom.
Yeah. Oh shit!
That bathroom's only going to be open one day a year, right?
Yeah, I know that's what's going on. I have a feeling that bathroom, after all that work and after them getting it running, they're just going to open it up for Aguilar days, and that's it.
Wow.
And that's it. Yeah. It's going to be a one-day deal, I bet you. And hopefully that tree don't fall on nobody while they're there.
Right? That's what I'm saying. There's like a 3/4 dead tree, huge dead tree sitting right there in the park. I've been waiting to see the limbs break off of it.
No, the liability's on the town.
I know a tree.
Yeah, that's the only time it's open, Betty. Guaranteed.
I know a good tree guy.
And they got it fixed. It's just they're not going to open it for nobody. Only on Aguilar Day. That'll be it.
I mean, otherwise it should be open right now because it is functional. We've already gotten that information from Joe that it is functional. That what they had to do is it's a water flow problem, and I know why they've got a water flow problem, or at least partially why they've got a water flow problem. I'm not going to tell them unless they hire me, but then I might tell them. But anyways, they had to put a pump in there so that way they can shoot the water to the toilets to make sure that they flush properly and whatever. But yeah, it's only going to be open one day a year, two maybe. I don't know. Aguilar Days runs 2 days, right? It's the weekend, right?
No, not no more. It's only a day. It's not Aguilar Days anymore. Now it's like the Aguilar Festival or something else. It's not even Aguilar Day anymore. It used to be multiple days back in the day when the town got together, and there was a lot of people. So
Well, and Aguilar used to have a population of over 3,000 people, which is kind of crazy because you sit here and you look at this town and you're like, there's no way that there was 3,000 people in this town with his, with the housing that's here and whatever. But a lot of the housing, from what I understand, has been taken down, and you wouldn't even know that there was housing where there was housing. But it's kind of crazy how it's like dwindling so fast. But there was reasons behind all of that. I mean, if you're not from here, you shouldn't be here. You got no say.
With all the money missing, that kind of makes me wonder if some real estate was bought on behalf of the town.
Well, there is one real estate company in here. They've got a really nice building too. Really nice building. I hear they like to sell properties and give people hope, and then sometimes that hope just gets shattered and they're stuck with it. That's what I hear. Just saying.
Yeah. Over and over we've heard that, but
yeah. Like
the water's good.
Water's good though. Water's good though. I mean, I'm telling you, the water's great, wonderful. You should just jump in and try it.
Well, we're getting close to that 2-hour mark, guys.
We are. Did you have something lined up? Because I was about to look for something.
No,
okay.
I don't.
All right, give me 1 second. I'll have something lined up.
I can pull something up quick, but it's all good. It'll be fine. We got some news coming to you guys on Benton County update. You guys stay tuned for that. We'll be getting that out to you guys sooner than later. Maybe even as soon as tomorrow. So you guys stay tuned, all you people in Benton County paying attention. We give Jake Six his time to be accountable and to be transparent, and he chose to not. So therefore, we got to do what we said we would do, bring you guys the information. So
yep.
We'll do an also show on that here in the near future, guys.
You're better, Jake.
And we appreciate you guys all being here. Betty, Robert, Keebler, Carthief, Gail. We had Alexis in here, Dorian. A lot of locals in here. Good to see a lot of locals. Corey, John, of course, we appreciate you. Lat, Gilbert Bystander, Wolverine Transparency, Gregory, Accountability Amplified. Let's see. I think I got most everybody there. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for the thumbs up. Don't forget to tell your friends. Don't forget to tell your friends.
You, so we saw it coming.
Let's have a good night.
The signs were clear, no point in running. You tried to fight, we saw you falling. We told you so, you weren't listening. The sky was dark, the storm was brewing. The thunder rolled, your doubts consuming. You closed your eyes, ignored the warning. We told you so in every morning.
We told you so.
We told you so, you can't deny it. The truth was there, you tried to hide it. We warned you once, we warned you twice. We told you so, it's no surprise. The echoes of our words now haunt you. The things you tried to push behind you.
You guys all have a good night, man. We appreciate y'all. Good news without you.
Damn, Jake. This guy works for you?
Much love, everybody.
Now here we